If you want to be successful, then you basically need a goal. Because how can you arrive at your desired destination when you don't even know where you're going? And when I ask a lot of people, like, what do you want? Then they said, oh, yes, I want to be successful. But what is that? Like, what does success actually mean? And when you are not clear about it, when you don't know how to set goals in the right way, then you will never get there. So there are a few things that comes to great goal setting. First of all, you need to understand your why you're doing this. Because as Nietzsche said, he who has a why can bear almost any how. That is how powerful it is. Like, if you have a strong why, it doesn't matter what you need to do and how you will get there, because you will get there eventually. So first of all, we need to understand our why. And our why consists of two things. It consists of our vision. No, sorry. Or wait, I can do it like this. It consists of our vision is here. And our anti-vision over here. Two things, your vision and your anti-vision, because you want something to run towards, so like a goal. And you want an anti-vision, something to run away from, like, let's draw it in red. This is meant to be fire, but I am not the strongest drawer, but this is fire. So basically, if you have something to run towards and something to run away from, then that means that if this is you, that means that you're always running, because you're running away from the fire and towards your goal. So this is what a strong why really means. Like, picture it really clearly. Like, what does your ideal life look like? What does your ideal life look like? So maybe you have full freedom, where do you live? In what house do you live? What do you do for work? With who do you live? Describe your perfect lifestyle, and describe it in a lot of detail, because if you describe it in a lot of detail, then eventually what happens is you will start to picture it, you will feel a certain emotion out of it, and when you feel an emotion, then you will take the action to confirm that emotion, basically. So and then when you're doing the action, you will actually be able to achieve it. So describe your vision in detail. Also, your anti-vision, so the fire that you run away from. I need to redraw this because this looks horrible. Maybe like this. Okay, I guess it looks a bit better, right? Cool. So, fire. What would your life look like if you're going on the same trajectory that you're on right now? When you keep doing the bad habits, when you keep working in a 9 to 5 that you don't like what will your life look like in 50 years? And also describe that. So then you get really clear on your anti-vision, like what don't you want? And the easiest way to go about it is to look at other people, to look around you, the people on the streets. Like, this is crazy. When I walk on the streets, so many people, and like sometimes when I go on a walk, basically I greet every person on the way and I just smile at them, because yeah, like, I'm pretty optimistic. But a lot of people, they walk like zombies. It is like really terrifying, and I never want to end up there. I never want to go that bad. So by getting really clear on your anti-vision and really clear on your vision, then you can determine a goal. Like, what goal do you need to achieve in order to get to this desired reality? And so basically, like for me personally, it is a financial goal, because a financial goal, and if you're watching this, probably for you it is a financial goal either. Like when you achieve a financial goal, that has, I think, the greatest impact on your life. That will change my life the most. Like, what goal would change your life the most? And like I said, for me that is a financial goal. For you it might be a relationship goal or a health goal or whatever. But so once you have a goal, or once you have your vision and your anti-vision, you need to have a clear goal, a clear thing that you can strive towards. And that we will do using the following framework. The SMART framework. So this is how we are basically going to set like a good, decent, solid goal. S is for specific. So describe your goal in detail. Like I said, like being successful isn't like detailed, but maybe like I want to get this much money or this much per month, for example. That is like specific, right? M is for measurable. It needs to have a clear metric of success, because if you say, oh yes, I want to look good when it comes to a health goal, that isn't like specific, or I mean that isn't like measurable. What is measurable is, I want to lose this much pounds, or I want to have a six-pack. That is like a clear metric of success. Or I want to earn this much money, for example. The A is for achievable. For the achievable, make sure it is challenging but realistic. Because if you set a goal that is way above, like, let's say for example my goal would be like $1 million a month. Like maybe later it would work, but for me in this current state, like with the current person that I am, with the person's skills and the qualities that I have, like 1 million a month is too far out of reach. And if it is too far out of reach, that will cause like a very much like anxiety. When it is like a too easy goal, so let's say for example, let's earn 1,000 a month, then it would be not as challenging. So a good achievable goal would be between like 10 and 100k per month, something like that. Let's start with 10k per month. So make it challenging yet realistic. That is like the flow state. Because if it is too challenging, then it is basically, it will cause anxiety. If it is if it is not challenging at all, basically you will be bored and it will not be a great goal as well. R is for relevant. It needs to be actually relevant, or it needs to align with your motivations, with your why, with your vision and your anti-vision. Because if your vision and anti-vision is like, I want to achieve a life full of freedom, for example, and then your goal would be, I want to lose this many pounds, then it doesn't align. Because your vision is finance related and your goal is health related. So make sure it aligns with the motivations of your vision and your anti-vision. And the T stands for time bound. Why is this important? Because you need to give yourself like a certain deadline, because all people are like lazy, basically, and that is normal, because that is how we are evolutionary wired. Like the energy that we have is finite, so we have been programmed to conserve as much energy as possible. So we the our monkey mind, or our primal self, he wants to be lazy, basically, and that is normal, that is okay, because he wants to conserve energy. So by having if you don't set any time on your goal, then you don't feel any pressure. Like, because look at it from when you were still in school, for example. If you didn't have a deadline, then you would never do the task. But it was only because of the pressure and the stress of the deadline that you were actually able to overcome the procrastination and do it. If there wasn't a deadline, you wouldn't have done it like ever, right? So it has also to be time bound. So then, based on those things, you are, where do I write this? If I write it here, can you still see it? No, not as good. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. What you will end up with is a sentence, and that is basically a commitment, or what your goal will look like, and that is, so in time frame, I will have outcome through action. Okay, in time frame, so let's say, for example, in 6 months I will have achieved 10k per month through mentorship, through helping people solve this problem, etc. In time frame, I will have outcome through action, and make sure, of course, it is specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, it is relevant, and it is time bound. When you are clear on this, then basically the only thing you have to do, then you have a great goal. The only thing you have to do is three things in order to achieve this. And that is, first of all, is commitment. Like, you need to commit to your goal, because if you keep changing goals, then you will never achieve one, right? If you have a goal, then you need to commit yourself to it, and that basically happens through sacrifice, because there are a lot of things that you might want to do, like bad habits and stuff like that, but you have to understand that life, you can't have it all. Life is about trade-offs. So if you want one thing, then you have to sacrifice something else. And the bigger the goal, the greater the sacrifice. So that is what you need to understand. So not what do I have to do, but what do I have to sacrifice in order to achieve this, first of all. And that is something to do with commitment. You need to stick to it, and you need to sacrifice things, and you need to keep those things sacrificed until you achieve the goal. Second is consistency, because if you are like, I don't really believe in moderation. You either do it or you don't. And if you skip days, if you take weekends, if you take holidays, something like that, if you are not consistent, then you will never build the momentum. Like, you become what you repeatedly do, or you will get what you repeatedly do. And if you don't do it repeatedly, then you won't get it. Like, same as like when you're going to the gym, one workout won't change a thing, right? So focus on that. Then so we have commitment, we have consistency. Third thing, very important, is patience. The patience, because a lot of the times you will feel like quitting, you will feel like you aren't making any progress at all, and that is normal. You will always have plateaus, and you will always have periods where you aren't growing or even like declining. Then you have to stay consistent, stay committed, and have a lot of patience because of it. And like, two things can happen. You can either achieve your goal in set time frame, or you can't. Like, and if you haven't achieved your goal, then just expand the timeline, right? But still do everything in your power to get it in this time frame. But if you haven't achieved your goals there, you can expand it. Like, same as when you're going for a run and you are really tired, you're just going through it. And when you see a tree, for example, and you think, oh okay, I'm going to go to that tree, and basically when I get to the tree, then I'm done. But what happens is, when you get very close to the tree, so when you get closer to your goal, you are going to expand it. So no, I'm not going to stop here, I'm going towards that tree of that car, you know? So you keep, every time you keep expanding the timeline, whether you achieve your goal and you haven't achieved your goal. And this, like, it isn't really about the goal, because what I think success is having a goal and making progress towards it, because success is never final. Let's say you achieve the 10k per month, then what? Are you going to just don't do anything at all? No, because having a goal and making progress towards it is the fulfilling part. So yeah, this is how you basically set a good goal, and how you can actually, because if you don't have a good goal, then you're also not making real progress towards it. So yeah, bye.